Hello, I'm Jomika and welcome to another tutorial. This one is going to be how to build the sugarcane farm that is right here behind me. Now in front of me. It's pretty good. There's 232 sugarcane planted, and this gets 262 around there sugarcane per hour with just the two levels here. It is stackable as high as you want, and you can also stack it next to each other. You can obviously modify it a little bit, so you could get rid of this whole half here and just have glass if you wanted to actually show off the sugarcane being grown without the pistons. You could do a whole bunch of stuff. And what it does is it's based on the observer here, either side. So let's break this, if a sugarcane grows up to this observer, it'll fire both sides, and then it'll also fire this side at the same time. So if we come over here and look, that side will also fire. So there's a little delay on the other side, and that is just because when this fires, we want the other side to also fire. I used to have observers here, but this side would grow all the way up, and then it would reduce the rates dramatically. So now when either side grows up all the way here, it'll just fire the whole level. And then this level is independent from the top level, so it'll be the same thing here. Either one of those observers will fire this level here. And if you're going to build another section, that would be independent of this. So if you had this stacked right next to it, you would have 4 different independent little sugarcane farm areas. And then also, when this fires, it actually releases the minecarts. So if we go do it one more time, we could take a look, and it should just release the minecarts, and they go off, pick up all the items, and then they come back and stop, unload down, and then everything ends up in this chest below. So super simple. I mean, the redstone's pretty simple too, a little tricky if you're not used to it, but easy to build, and everything ends up right in the middle, so you just have one collection spot. Unless you expand it, then you'd kind of have to get a little tricky with the storage. But if you keep going up, it'll all end up in that same spot. If we come over here, take a look, if we have one sugarcane, that ends up to be about 1.23 sugarcane per hour, and that's how I got these numbers here. So what you could do with this farm, or basically what you can do with sugarcane, is you can send all the sugarcane into a composter to get bone meal, or you can turn the sugarcane into paper for trading with villagers, or you could turn it into regular sugar to make cakes and potions. So now I guess I'll go ahead and just show you how to build this exact farm. So you can have the same thing, and then if you wanted to continue up, you would just continue on with the design, and then same with going out. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So to build this, you're going to want almost 4 stacks of pistons, 16 redstone blocks, 12 repeaters, 8 observers, 10 sticky pistons, 12 hoppers, almost 4 stacks of regular rail, a half a stack of powered rail, 4 minecart with hoppers, and almost 4 stacks of redstone. And then you're also going to need water and 2 chests. And then you're also going to need a few blocks that are not transparent, that can pass redstone signal through them. I don't remember exactly the entire list. I know some are a little weird. I think some of the lamps will actually conduct redstone. But just to be safe, I would stick with cobblestone or just some sort of stone block. And then you can use glass for most of the rest of the build. To make things simple, I'm going to try to use different colors for building, just so you can kind of see where I've put things and just how they look. So yeah, in order to start, you're going to want to build 2 little platforms for the rails, and those will each be 14 blocks wide, and then split up by redstone. So that's 14 blocks by 2, and then you're going to want redstone blocks in the middle here, and then continue on with 14 more. So that'll come out to here. Actually, I feel like I should use a different block for this, but that'll be fine. So yeah, you got this one platform here. This can actually be made out of glass or any other material. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, and then 2. So you want 3 blocks in the middle here, and then just kind of continue this on. Same as the other one. And yeah, that's very easy. The next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and grab your gold rails and I guess your regular rails. We'll get both of those. So regular rails and powered rails. Go ahead and start here, and then you just want to go ahead and go all the way through, and then these 3 here will be regular rails. Or sorry, these 3 here will be powered rails. And then you want to do that for both sides. And then at the end, where we've already put some of the rails down here, we're going to change that. But I just find it easier to just go ahead and place everything in, and then later you can adjust it. So on the center here, we're going to want to get rid of these 2, and then these will be powered rails and also hoppers. So we can probably place in the hoppers now. So let's head over here. We'll pick those up. We'll get that and that. So we could place the chest in here, and then hoppers coming off of that, and like that. So that'll be fine. And then we can finish up the rail. If I can grab the correct thing, we can shift click to place that on top of the hopper, and then that'll be like that. And then this is kind of your station, your unloading station. Anything that's put in here will come into the chest. Very easy. The next thing we should probably work on is the little clock sort of thing that goes right in between the station. So what it does is this will actually extend, and this is what releases the mine carts and then traps them again. So if we do this, that'll release the mine carts. These will add a little bit of delay, so the powered rails are powered long enough, and yeah, those guys can get out of here. So let's go ahead and start building that. This piston is going to go right behind the chest here, and then we want the repeaters pointing out from that, all on 4 ticks. Or at least these 2. I don't remember what this one is. This one's probably 4 ticks also, but let's double check. So yeah, that one is 4 ticks as well. And then we're going to want our non-transparent block to go right behind here. That'll power that. Power that block. And I forgot actually how to make this. So let's go ahead and look. So we have another block here with a repeater underneath. So we need to actually change this a little bit. We can go ahead and get rid of all this. So you want 3 blocks like this. So one directly behind the piston, an empty block, and then another one back there. So we'll put that like that. And then in the empty spot down below, we'll put that one on 4 ticks. And then we want redstone dust right at the back here. So if we power this real quick, we should see this block will be pushed up after a little delay. And there we go. And then it unpowers and all is good. So that's exactly what we want. So you should probably test that, make sure it's doing just this, and that's all it should do. And if it's doing that, then you're in good shape. I guess the next thing we could do is probably the edges, and I'll just build that out of glass. So this is going to come out here. We'll put one like that, and that's going to actually have the water on top of it. And then we'll want a little water thing all the way around. Not there. It'll be like that. And then right in here will actually be the glass, or sorry, not the glass, the grass. You could probably use sand if you wanted instead of glass. Sorry, instead of grass. But I just like grass because if water comes through, the sand will not fall onto the tracks if the tracks are swept away. So yeah, you want the grass all the way down, and then behind that will be the water little holder. This will be glass. So I got that right this time. So come all the way through, and you can get rid of that. So this will be, this is what will hydrate the sugarcane, but we need to add water in. So let's go ahead and add that water. So one here, and then one right in the middle. You can kind of find that by where these redstone blocks are. And there you go. Or you could count out 14 that way, and then this will be the 15th block. So we'll do the same thing on the other side, and then I will plant all the sugarcane in the middle, and we will also need to do the same thing on this side. We can actually, we'll keep that for now. Now we can get rid of that. And then, yeah, we'll get all of those filled in. We'll get the grass on all sides, and then we can go ahead and finish up this first little story. So the next part is very easy. It's just a lot of block placing. It's going to be glass, 2 layers of glass, just like this. And then the pistons will go here. It'll be on all 4 sections. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then behind that is going to be the redstone dust. So yeah, you just want to continue this all the way down. And then once you get that done, you want to add glass on top of there. And then that should be tall enough to where you can start the next layer. And this will be like the cap to keep any sugarcane from shooting out when the pistons hit it. So I'm going to go ahead and build up just these walls here on all 4 sections, and then we'll hop back in and take a look at what that looks like. So here is what it should look like at this point. It's just pistons all the way down, redstone in the middle, glass kind of around here, and yeah, same on every side. The next thing we want to do is add in the observers. So let's go ahead and grab one of those. Observer, let's see if I could spell. And we want to place those right in the middle again. So that's going to be right here. We're going to take out these 2 pieces of glass. We're also going to be taking out this redstone, or the redstone dust. And we can place any block in the middle here. So we'll just use a plank. And then you want the redstone to come over. Actually, that doesn't have to be, it can be any block. So you could use a glass block if you wanted. Let's double check. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That does have to be a block. So it fires this piston here. So yeah, what you want to do is place that in on both sides. So what happens is when this is detected, it'll fire all of these. And right now I just have a clock going over and over again. But that's what you want. The next thing we're going to want is to connect the other side. And at this point you have a sort of AFK, not AFK, but sort of working sugarcane farm. It'll automatically just harvest all of these and knock it onto the ground. There's no collection system. You just have to run through and pick it up every time you hurt it. But what we're going to do now is go ahead and set up a way to fire off these other pistons. So you want to come to the end here and place in a block that will be powered by this redstone dust when that is fired. And then you want a sticky piston. Let's go ahead and pick those up. Let's pick up all the stuff we need actually. That looks like about it. Actually, we'll go ahead and make that orange. Alright, so we got this block here placed. We want to come down here, place the sticky piston pointing down, attach the redstone block to that, and then underneath there, we can for now put another redstone block or whatever block you want, just so we can place in these pistons. But I kind of like using the redstone block just so we can see where things will end up. So yeah, those are extended out. We're going to place this block right at the end here, and that's going to come all the way down right to the center on both sides. So this will end up right here. That redstone dust should be powered, and that's what we want, because this is going to be a redstone line out to here to power pistons. So we can go ahead and place the repeaters in on this side. Those will just be 1 tick each. And then this redstone dust will come all the way down to here. So 1 from the edge. I think, no, I did not change that. So this will come to here. And then this is going to be a sticky piston pointing up. So this is going to break some things. Go ahead and point that up on both sides. And we can break this piece here. That is going to end up being a solid block. We can go ahead and use the orange here on both sides. And then we'll have to be a little quick about this one, but we're going to break this glass. Actually, we're okay. Break this glass and then place in this on the bottom. So if we break this, you should see, nope, I was wrong. You want to place that pointing up. So the little dot is pointing up. So you could come up here and just place this easily like this, from facing down. So let's go ahead and put that in. So yeah, when that extends, it'll actually fire everything. So right now, might as well just put that redstone dust up there. I don't think you need it. It seems to be firing, but I did have it on my little design up there. So we want to do the same thing on the other side, but we can go ahead and break this extra block we placed in. We don't need that. So let's just make sure we have everything set up here. We need the observer. So that should be good. So now, when we get this set up, we should see both sides fire. That's exactly what we want. So this side will fire first, then this side. This side will fire at the same time, and then that one will go after. So if we watch, all 4 sides should fire. There we go. So that is exactly what you want. Now you have a farm that will grow up It'll break all of the sugarcane. You just need to set up the collection system, which is fairly easy at this point. We can go ahead and place in another block. I think I did this a little bit differently. I did. So we'll come in here. We will break this piece of glass with redstone dust on top. We'll replace that redstone dust. And then under here, we will put the piston. You want to do that quick because this will get all washed out. And then we can go ahead and place that there. And then we also want to be quick about this because we're going to replace some pistons and water will fall down. So you just come in here, replace that, and they should be extended to start because that is going to be their default position, always going to be blocking the minecarts. And we can go ahead and place in the minecarts here. And now what'll happen is when we get this all grown up, let's go ahead and do this. We'll just put a few in here. So if we do this, the minecarts will be fired along, and there they go. They'll come back, pick up all the sugarcane, and you can see in here that it's picked up some sugarcane. It's all being shot into this chest, and now you have a working sugarcane farm. The next thing you're going to want to do if you're building up the second story is place the roof on top. This roof here serves as two purposes. It is going to keep the sugarcane from shooting out, and then it is also going to act as the floor of the next section. So this is where the rails will go on top. You're going to kind of do the same process as below, the whole same process we did before. Most of it is the same. The only difference is this little circuit is a little bit different here, and then the hoppers coming down. But I will go ahead and get the rails in place, the pistons in place, the sugarcane and grass in place, and then we can come back to kind of just finish off this build. Okay, so we have the glass in place, the redstone, the pistons, the water, and the sugarcane. That process is all the same. Same with the observers in the middle here. If I could find the middle, this is the middle here. So we want that there, and that one there. Break that out. Some sort of block, and some sort of redstone. Well, not some sort of redstone, definitely just redstone. And then on the side here, we're going to do the same. We'll break that one and place that. Go ahead and break this one and place that. That redstone dust isn't required. I didn't do it at the bottom here, but I'm just going to put it in just because that's kind of what I accounted for. And that's what I put in the chest for the counts. You can leave those out. This one is required, but the ones on the outside are not. So just something for you to know. So yeah, if we come to the other side over here, this process is going to be exactly the same as down below. So, but we'll go ahead and do it again. We want a sticky piston. We want redstone. We'll put 2 in. And then I'm just going to do this much faster this time because it is exactly the same as before. So we'll go ahead and just speed up right through this. Okay, so this side is basically done. The only thing you want to do is go ahead and put a side on here. It could be anything. You don't even have to do it, but I just do it so nothing escapes. And you want to do that on both levels. You can just place that right against there, and this side as well. There we go. So this side should be completely done now. Yeah, it looks exactly the same as the other side. The sides are finished here. The top is finished here. You once again have a little AFK, sorry, not AFK, a working farm here. So if we came in and just placed a piece of glass here, all the pistons should fire, and they do. So that's all good. The station here is going to be basically the same as below, but it's going to be sticking out because there's not enough room in here. And the reason I had this one sticking in is so we could have the chest on the outside. And then this part also, I think it was this part. This part cuts in below the farm below it. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put some color in there just so we can see it. This is going to be where the gold powered rails go. And actually this one, let me double check this again. Oh, that's why. I didn't build this out far enough. So let's go ahead and get this built to the right dimension. This will come out 2 more blocks. That was my mistake. I didn't build this out far enough. So we can place all these in. Those 2 will break. And then we'll go ahead and place a normal block here. And then we're going to do hoppers pointing down here. So this one, it's going to be a little tricky with the minecart there, so you just want to clear that out. That'll all be good there, but we want to get rid of this one. We just want to make sure that this one is pointing down. And then we want one more up here, so it's just level with that. We can go ahead and if we can grab the powered rail, do that side and that side, and then that one is good. And then if you're going to extend it up any further, you can do the same thing here with the hoppers just to prepare for it. One there, all the way up to right there. Should be one above the hopper. So yeah, that'll be like that. But we're not going to go any higher. We're just going to stop at this level here. But if you wanted to do the same, you could kind of prepare for it. Just build the 2 layers or even 1 layer, and then keep the hoppers there and just kind of prepare for the future. Right here, we can go ahead and close that off. And that is all good right there. We just need to build up the station here. So we'll go ahead and place that. And then under there, we're going to want a regular piston. Under that, we're going to want the redstone. And then these 2 pieces. Did I do? Oh, I did do a regular piston there. Okay. And then right here, we want to make sure that these are pointing out. Oh, that's not good. So that's kind of what you want to prevent. But that's okay. We can easily fix that. I think there's just the 1 redstone dust in the back and then 1 right here. And then the same thing on this side. Get rid of those 2. Can place that one there. And then hoppers all the way down. And yeah, that got rid of the powered rails. So we could just place those back in. And build this up. And 1 more. So there we go. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and finish that one off. And that should all be good. So from here, all we have left, pick that up, is the little timer clock for this piece. So that'll be like that. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. Okay. So there is a chance that if this fires at the same time as this, then the train won't even leave the station. But I don't think that'll happen very often, if at all. So this part is basically the same. You want the 2 redstone repeaters there, and then you're just going to kind of invert from here. So let's double check just to make sure we're doing it right. We want a block here. We can break. We'll actually go ahead and build like a little plus sign here and then break out the middle. And then come in here, place 1 more repeater on 4 ticks, and then 1 more repeater down here on 4 ticks, and then a redstone dust right there. And I think that should be everything, with the exception of the glass and the hoppers. But let's go ahead and give this a little test. We're not going to worry about saving the items from falling out right now. So those both fired, those both shot off, and that is all working. So we could come down here, just do another test of this one just to make sure. Should be fine. Those 2 are shot off. Those 2 are back at the station. We have 18 sugarcane, and then the problem with this is I didn't actually put in the hopper minecarts. So let's just double check one more time, but I am confident that it will work. So those left the station, both of them, and they are working. So just finishing touches here is the glass going up, and then this side would be the same. If you're going to continue on up, put the hoppers here. If you're going to stop at this level, you can just go ahead and fill in with glass. And that'll be it. Alright, well that is all there is to this one. Hopefully it wasn't too complicated. You're able to easily follow along what I was doing, what I was saying. If anything doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments and I can definitely help you out. Or you could join me on Discord and contact me there. You can join me on the Bedrock Discord or my own personal one, whichever you prefer. The Bedrock one is definitely more active and more fun to be a part of, so I'd recommend doing that one. And yeah, I guess that's all there is for this. If you like the tutorial, be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed and don't want to miss any future Bedrock episodes, gameplay videos, or future tutorials that I put out, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.